Good morning. Hello. Um. Oh, I left the number 7 up there. Yesterday I left it as 5 for the whole stream, so that's fun. Um. The stream says at the top of it 7. Sorry, 5. Worm truck. No, truck worm. Truck worm. And today it will say 7. Exclusive cap. I'm gonna turn the volume of that down and the volume of that up because it turns out I talk more loudly than I thought. And I have the music turned up quite loud in my ears, and myself in my ears as well, as usual. But I have music turned up quite loud to drown out motorbike noises because, as previously mentioned, I live in a wonderful area. I don't know what it is recently. Has essentially made the locals realise how little of what the police say they do, the police actually do, especially in council estates. So they've pretty much got free reign. Come on, give me a pencil. Make it look. Should have done this beforehand. Always do a bit of a scribble beforehand to check that touch sensitivity is still on, because this tablet has a habit of uninstalling itself and needing reinstalling to make touch sensitivity work. Don't know why. Exclusive cap. Oh, yeah. Should put that in the prompt, shouldn't I? Oh, it does show it typing in real time because the thing that I'm typing into comes up in front of my little preview. I never know whether it does that before I hit enter or not. Oh, this like cap is one thing. I'm not good with clothes, as we've said, which is the obvious interpretation of the word cap. But exclusive. Because how do you get something is definitely exclusive rather than just fancy? Let's start by just sort of sketching out a cap shape, shall we? Totally a cap, not a duck. Much the same thing. Also, I'm going to move that down now I realise how tall it is. Why did I start drawing the bottom of something halfway up the canvas? And other questions to which the answer is probably Rick's a Burke. You'll notice zoom in is working today. No idea what that was about yesterday. So, right, we've got the sort of cap idea down. Just how do you draw exclusivity? Hmm. That was me having a thought, but it was also a thought that I hated. And would rather not pursue further, because it's a lot of not overly fun work. And there's a chance that I get halfway through drawing it and think of just a better idea I would rather have done. It's not worse than yesterday's yet. Oh, the idea that I had. It's not that kind of bad. It's just it involves drawing a lot of fancy clothes. Annoyingly, that's a pretty okay cap. I've just got nowhere to go with it. Huh. Oh, there are some adjectives I just don't like. An exclusive is joining that list. You know what? I am so perplexed by the word exclusive. I'm going to double check that is the word I'm drawing. Yeah. Exclusive. could have gone with that kind of cap. That would also have made sense. And I have a thought. Hmm. No. This new thought that I'm having. I'm gonna hide that layer for now. Problem with that notion of cap. Morning. Is circles. Or circle approximants. Or ellipses, as I'm informed they're referred to by mathematicians and other wizards. Not ellipses, ellipses. Ellipses is dot dot dot. No, that's ellipsis. When does it become ellipses? Does it not? I think that's just my brain fancily reading. The cap is just there on another layer. But I'm just hiding it while I draw a thought. Does that work? I think that needs to have it all there. I think the amount of thinning I've done there needs to go on a larger cap. Or does it just need to come up more? Like that. Yeah. So. We've got two interpretations of cat on the go now. I've not included our cat in that. So. Okie dokie. No, not that layer. Don't do that to that layer. Do it to that layer. No, grab that layer. That layer, please. There we go. Now. Now begins the bit that might be weird. Now I'm going to treat each layer as existing only on its own. Right. Smaller, please. Tiny, tiny pen. Now, I haven't really let on what I'm thinking here, have I? But sorry about that noise. That noise is me having forgotten to put this bugger on. So now, that's the sound of my hand going across the screen. Not that you got before, as like skin rubbed against it. Anyway, so There's something about the last few years that just makes me always associate baseball caps with the colour red. And the feeling despair. Can't think what could have happened there. Okay, this is the problem with having quite rough pencil layers and then zooming in, sort of going, is this outline or is this just a bit where I went over the edge? How do you colour within the lines when you didn't decide when drawing them what the lines are? Anyway, book it. Now, let's hide them. And bring this back. Let's see what that does. Right. Because I apparently chose today to be mathematically poncy. Today's music is, again, a fairly eclectic metal playlist. While it's all metal, there's not much else that ties it together. This comes to mind as the track that's currently on is by a band called Elevati, who I can't recommend to anyone. I like a lot of their stuff. I also dislike a lot of their stuff. They are incredibly variable. So I can recommend some of their stuff to pretty much anyone, but I can't recommend all of it to anyone. Because, like, they have an album of acoustic folk. Great. It's on my folk playlist. Well, it's acoustic folk metal, but acoustic metal is an interesting thing in itself. Then they have a lot of stuff that's quite heavy on unclean vocals. And I have a quite low tolerance for that for someone who listens to as much metal as I do. And pretty much anything between those two. Right. Now at this point, that's what we've got. That's not what I expected. Just so you know, I have used one colour today. It is the same colour on both layers. And the mode of this layer is exclusion. What if I do subtract? Oh, subtract does much more what I thought exclusion would do. Because for some reason, green survived that. Which is weird, because I use red. And then put red in an exclusion layer. And green came out where it overlapped with itself. I don't get that. I'm going to have to look up what exclusion actually does. But this does much more what I was expecting. Anyway. Let's have a new layer. Let's see what happens if I do that. Okay, what about where they overlap? Nothing. This is going to be interesting. I've no idea what's actually going to come out of this. Actually, I'm going to do something inadvisable. I've spent so much of this series so far saying shading layers. They're great. And I'm gonna not use one here. Let's actually go to transparent watercolor for this, because I want to do this quite softly. This is a decent contender for the most obtuse thing I've ever drawn. And it's a bottle cap. Yeah, that gets the effect I'm looking for. Okay. I am kind of tempted at this point, now we see what's going on, to draw the rest of this. Like, finish off both layers with this whole nonsense happening. And see at the end what it all looks like. Just So just finish the shading on both these things. And then unhide them both at the end. Okay, I read that as a bottle cap. At that point, let's read this as a baseball cap. And if we use that same shading colour that we were just using as the highlight colour on this one, oh, I can barely see that. Did I have this tool set really light last time I used it? I can only see that from certain angles. Oh, actually, it shows up really clearly in OBS. That's not helpful. um... So I'm just going to sort of slap it on where I can't see it and look up at OBS occasionally to check to see whether that's right. Oh, hello, Mum. How was that then? I mean, to be fair, it was the news, so there's only so much that satire can do to improve the fact that the news lately is topical. Nope, I want softer than that. It's coming out really clear on OBS and not really clear on tablet. That's a weird thing to see happening. Like, if I can see it at all on here, then in OBS it's unnecessarily clear. Let's grab the shadow colour that I used there. No, the highlight colour I used there. How does that compare? Okay, that comes out pretty much as I'm seeing here. really weird and unsettling. Oh. Ah. Fred doesn't like me saying what Mum just typed and has gone to bark at me. Oh, I could say something to make him bark more. If you fancy a bit of bird watching. Okay. I'm surprisingly happy with that baseball cap. I'm surprisingly happy with that bottle cap. Let's see what happens when we do this. Certainly is weird. Now let's try seeing what exclusion does there. Okay, green. Not sure about that. So, okay. Do we want subtract or exclusion? Exclusion is true to the prompt, but also subtract does what I expected of the prompt. Hmm. Oh, what's going on now? Oh, it thinks I'm still holding that. Oh, what? It thinks I've got a key stuck down and I'm not sure what key. I'm going to have to pull up the tablet app and see what it thinks I've got. Because... Okay, no, it's... Oh! I didn't expect that. Because that's what that layer actually looks like. But it only exists... It only works when it's the negative image of itself, which it is when you have it either as subtract or... Didn't expect that. So, if I just sort of grab a new raster layer and shove that under there. No, to shove it right at the bottom. And get a shrink select. No, do a shrink select there. Thanks for highlighting the areas I went over my own edges. In fact, you know what? Can I just... Hmm... No, how do I do that? Treat semi-transparent as transparent. There we go. It's still treating that. Now, let's try that again. What if... There we go. That wasn't so hard, was it? That was a while just to fill in the background of that in white. So. Oh, divide goes weird. That goes a bit fiery. I think subtract does what I'm looking for here. Just sharpen up these edges a bit. Should really be using this for that, not the watercolour brush. Oh, come on. Yeah. That's a bottle cap, isn't it? Close enough. Okay. Okay, so it's been under an hour. But in that under an hour, I've drawn two things I'm fairly happy with how they've come out, which has come together to one thing that I frankly do not understand. Well, I mean, I understand it. It just doesn't mean anything, does it? But one thing that's good with this is you can just have any overlap of them and it works. See, my first thought was to make a Venn diagram and actually represent the sort of exclusive OR, but then thought, oh, the colour could kind of do that. So this is a Venn diagram of caps representing the idea of exclusive OR. But it ended up being this artsy weirdness. Oh, no, wrong layer. No, don't apply transformation. Come over here and do it. Can I select multiple layers and do that? Yes, I can. In which case I should probably also select that one. I think my faith in the notion of meaningful modern art where's our wrong layer count today? That's a good question. I think Jen's currently playing Grounded. No, Rollercoaster Tycoon. So isn't watching the stream today. But if someone watches it later, they can do a running tally. Although, I should probably have said that at the beginning. But I didn't know until now. Bloody hell, there's 6 people here. That's more than usual. Oh, hello. Jen is multitasking. Ah, no. Make a new selection and move that a bit further up. So there's... I wonder, what if that is a subtract? Oh, that's weird. Okay, so that's 2 exclusion layers. It probably has a linked layers option, but that's not something that I've ever really used before. Because this is a weird use of layers, to be honest. I think that worked better as just that, with that as a normal layer. Oh, no, not saturation. Subtract. What if that one's normal? Oh, it's on top. Hmm. Now, that's... Hmm. What if... Oh, I think I might know what's going on there. If I go back to shrink selection, grab this layer. That's what's happening there. And that's pretty much the same as it was before, so... Hmm. How do you do select by colour? Aha. Is that better? It's just deleted a bunch of work that I did, but... But it is more like what I had in mind. I think I'm going to leave that as a subtract layer. Because that does what I had in mind. Okay. So, we have a bottle cap. We have a baseball cap. The two interact with one another to exclude. Hello, Mitch. I'm afraid your timing is pretty much just I'm going, I think that'll do. I feel like the baseball cap could be bigger. The bottle cap could be smaller. Neris is currently expressing surprise that I drew something non-horrifying with 0 legs over on Discord. What can I say? I'm full of surprises. Like a Kinder Egg left on turbo. There's still time to fix that. There is, but a leg doesn't really go anywhere natural with this. I'll make it up to you by posting in the Discord server a picture of a goat's head with a human foot. I've just happened to have one of those lying around. What can I say? I was bored at work today. Anyway. It's only been an hour, but I think I'm going to call it at that before I spoil it. It's not great. It's a thing. But well, it's two things. It's two things that were okay on their own and just about meet the prompt together. That's exclusive cap. So I'll see you tomorrow for whatever that happens to be. I appear to be timing this really badly for when people start turning up to the stream. It seems like 5 till 7 is a bad time to stream because people seem to be at their freest at 6, which is sometimes when I've just about finished and sometimes when I just get around to adding the feet. Today it's the former. So I'll see you tomorrow when I find out whatever that is. Till then, have a good rest of your evening.